Hello, guys. It's Mrs.Z. Okay. Today we're going to talk about the Grade 5 Mission 6, Lesson 6, Exit Ticket. You will need a two-colored pencil for this exit ticket. Here is a coordinate grid, and this is a quadrant 1, and we label the axis. This is X, positive X. This is Y, positive. And this is origin where everything that those x-axes are perpendicular to each other. Okay. The next step we can notice when we look at the grid is where the units, the whole units are. Here's the origin 0, and then here is 1, here is 2x, here is 3x, and then here is the y1, y2, and y3. Okay, so we can notice that our grid is in between 0 and 1. We look the spaces. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. That tells me that these are in between our fractions pieces. So when we try to label it, we can see, okay, if this is a whole, that's 4/4. 4/4. So this has to be a 0/4. And this has to be 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 whole. This has to be 1 whole and 1/4, 1 whole and 2/4, 1 whole and 3/4. Because we already passed a whole, now 1 whole and 1/4. This has to be 2 wholes right here. And then this would be a 2 wholes and 1/4. 2 wholes and 2/4, 2 wholes and 3/4, and then 3 wholes. So that if you have 3 wholes, that is already, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12/4. So 3 wholes is makes also 12/4, or 2 wholes is 8/4. This is kind of review about fractions. And then we look the vertical line, which is the y-axis, and that axis also is cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So fourths as well. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 is a whole, 1 whole and 1/4, 1 whole and 2/4, 1 whole and 3/4 would be right here. So anyway, I'm gonna stop right there. I can go all the way to, but it's okay. 2 and 1/4, 2 wholes and 2/4, 2 wholes and 3/4. Also, wherever you see that you are in the middle between two numbers, between 0 and 1, there's a 2/4, but that represents also 1/2. And if you are in between 0 and 1, there is a 2/4 here. So that same spot is also 1/2. Or here is 2, 1 whole and 2/4. So that represents 1 whole and 1/2. In the case we need that um, those values. So let's see what they're asking us to do. Number 1, plot the point H. That coordinate pair is X. I always put X and I also put Y on above. So X is 2 and 1/2. And Y is 2, 1 and 1/2. So That is the difference in between X and Y. So I'm going to label Y the different colors. So 2, I'm going to go to origin and say 1 hole, 2 holes, and I need now half. Half is in between 2 and 3, so half is right here. So this is 2 and 1/2, or 2 and 2/4, 2 and 1/2. So if I go from origin 1 and 2, and then I need a between half between 2 and 3, that is a half is right here, but it's also 1 to 2 pieces out of 4 that makes next the whole number. So this is point x-axis 2.5. Now the y is vertical, so we go 1.5. So we go from origin all the way to 1, and then I need a half. Half in between 1 and 2 is 2/4. So half is right here. So that is 1 whole and 2/4, or 1 whole and half. 1 whole and a half way to the 2. So I got my points right here and right here. So now it's time to find those where they meet. The plot point means where these axes meet. So if I go from 2.5 vertically up till I meet 1.5, I can see that they meet in this spot right here, and that is the letter H, and the coordinate pair is 2.5 comma 1.5. 1.5. So if you look, this was 2.5. You go dashes up vertically above the x-axis, and then you go from the this was 1.5 for y-axis, and if you take a dashes, this is where this pair is located. That is, we plot point H. Okay, now we're done with 1. Now let's do the 2. Okay, the 2 says line L passes through point H and is parallel to y-axis. Construct line L. So what we need, line L will pass through the H, that will know, and the line has to be parallel to the y-axis. So parallel means that the line there's always the same distance, and they never meet each other. So if I put my rulers right on the y-axis, right there, and I take the other ruler that is going to be perpendicular to it, I can slide my ruler that is parallel to the to y, and I can slide all the way to the H, and I can create parallel line that is parallel to the y. So here is the line. I can extend as far as I want, and the L is little l. If this is y, the y is, so now they say construct L passing through the H and is parallel to the y-axis. We can label this like L is parallel. This is symbol for parallel to y. So even if I don't know this, this is geometry language, L is parallel to Y line. L line is parallel to Y line. You should put arrow on the end of the each because that represents the line goes forever. It doesn't stop. It's not line segment. It goes forever. Okay. We are done number 2. Now let's do number 3. Construct line M. Line M. I'm going to do purple. All right, line N, such that y coordinate of M, construct line M such that the y coordinate of every point is 3/4. Okay, so what they say the y has to be 3/4. So if you think about this coordinate pair, the y always has to be 3/4. So the x can be any number, but y always has to be the same. So if the y is the same, that tells us that the line has to be it's a parallel to the x-axis because y is going to be same. So they said y coordinate are every point is 3/4. So we'll look. This is 0 where origin 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. We found this is the 3/4. So when we look that 3/4, and each point, it doesn't matter where you are, it's going to be at 3/4. So that tells you that the line M is going to be parallel to Y, and I'm going to draw that one. So this is M, and we can say that M is parallel to X. M is parallel to X. What can we say also that when we look L and M, it's the same like Y and X. If I extend my Y and extend my X, they will be perpendicular. So additional information that you can learn is that y-axis and x-axis and y-axis are perpendicular, and in this case also M and L are perpendicular. So how we make symbol perpendicular line is we can say that x is it's upside down the T. This represents perpendicular. So x is perpendicular to y, and also the L is perpendicular to M. That's kind of neat to know. This is parallel sign. This is perpendicular symbol. Okay, we did construct M. So next line M is 3/4 units from x-axis. Line M is 3/4 units from x-axis. So if you look this, the line M is right here, this, and it's always 3/4 from it's the same distance from the x-axis. So that's the truth. So it's always 3/4 distance from the x. We did 4. Now let's go to the next one. give the coordinates of the point on line M that is half unit from y-axis. Give coordinates of the point on the line M that is half unit from y-axis. So when we half unit from a y-axis, so it has to be, the point has to be on M, but it also has to be half unit away from the y-axis. This is y-axis, and if you go here, this is 1/4 away. If you go one more, that's 2/4 away, and then 2/4 is the same as 1/2. So I found where the point needs to be. So if you, this is 1/2, and the point is right there. So the point has to be on M, and it is a half unit away from the y-axis. So it's right here. Okay, so I found the point right there. Okay, we can label if this is HM, that could be HL. Oh, that's L. Okay, no, I don't want to. HS. Okay, I'm going to label that S point. Right there. Okay, so if we needed to find coordinates pair of S, then X would be the half, and then Y is going to be 3/4. So I don't know, are they going to ask us the next question? But since we are here, the X is a half away from the Y, and then Y is 3/4. So pair is half 3/4. We're done 5. All right. And now we're going to do the 6. Okay. All right. Let me read the 6. Which one color with one color pencil shade a portion of the plane that is less than 3/4 unit from x-axis. So we need to shade with one color pencil, shade a portion of the plane that is less than 3/4 units from x-axis. Less than 3/4 of x-axis. So if we think about this, this is x-axis, less than 3/4 from the x-axis would be everything that is right here. So I would say let's use that orange. Okay, everything that is less than 3/4 from the can shade actually orange. Okay. So all this area is less than 3/4. Less than 3/4 from x. Here's the x. So this is 1/4 from the x, 2/4 from the x, 3/4 from the x. Above that would be 1, which is higher than 3/4 from the x. Now, number 7. With another color pencil, shade a portion of the plane that is less than 2.5 units from y-axis. Less than 2.5 units from a y-axis. So this is y-axis, less than 2.5. Here's the 2.5 right here. So everything that this is has to be the less. So if I color that, all this is less than 2.5. Okay, so in between y-axis and l-axis is everything that is less than. Okay, so now I can see that this area right here, it kind of has two colors. It has my orange and my purple, so it's a double shaded the area. So this is everything that is less than 2.5 from the y-axis, and this is everything that is less than 3/4 from the y-axis, and this is the double region. Okay, let's see what next they want us to do. Plot a point that lies in the double shaded region. Give the coordinate of the point. So when we look back, give the coordinate, plot the point in a double shaded region and give the coordinates of the point, right? So we need to have a point. Let's see, T point, and we need to have X and a Y, and they have to be in a double region. Let's see and pick. So it doesn't matter which point I pick. It could be anywhere here. It could, let's see if I just pick this one here, right there. So I'm gonna put that on it there. It's in a double region, and I needed to find what the coordinates are. So now the first, if I have a point, I need to go to x-axis first. So my x is going to be 1.5. So 1 whole and 1/2, or 2/4. And then if I go all the way to the y-axis, my y is going to be 2/4, 2/4, or half. It doesn't matter. We can use either option. So x is 2 2/4, 1 2/4, and y is 2/4 or 1/2. So that is my point T. Okay, point T, and it is in a double region, double shaded region. Okay, let's go back and write that point. So the point, I said it could be 1 2/4 with 2/4, or T is also 1 1/2 with 1/2. Okay, because 2/4 is same as 1/2. All right, that should be all 8 questions in exit ticket. That is grade 5, module 6. Let me make it smaller so you can see. All right, so that was the drawing. Remember parallel, perpendicular. We answer question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then also 6, 7, 8, and that's it. Thank you very much for listening. This was Mrs. Z. I hope you feel good about this. All right. Bye bye.